Welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now let's hear for our special guest host, Terry Edwards.
Keep the applause coming. I like it. I like it. I like it. Listen, guys, it is the Wednesday Call, and I am so excited. Look, I've never been a professional bull rider, but I think I feel like one. Have you ever seen those guys that's getting ready to do something crazy like ride a bull? Like the whole purpose for the bull is to knock the guy off the bull, and he gonna get on there and gonna try to stay up on there. And you see him, he get in the saddle. They rope him in, they tie his rope in, and then he get his mind right. And then he look at the guy and he do this right here. Let me loose. That's how I feel. Let me loose, baby. Let me loose, because this is what I know. This is what I know. Anything that you want to accomplish in life that is significant, that is going to be legendary, that can be life-changing, it is going to be a fight. The bull that's designed to knock you off, that bull, it could be named called doubt. It could be a bull named self-defeating behaviors. It could be a bull named low self-image and low self-esteem. We don't know what it is, but everybody has a bull that's designed to knock them off. And the Wednesday Call is one time in the middle of the week that we get to pause and get poured back into. And I know some people be like, I don't need all this rah-rah and all this and that. That could be why maybe you're not as successful as you want to be. That could be why your business is not as wide and deep, because maybe you have lost your fire, lost your passion, lost your drive. Listen, y'all, I am fired up out of my mind. Olga, Mia, Oscar, there is a revival. I don't know if y'all feel it, but it's all oozing throughout the soul of the Alliance. And we are poised for unprecedented growth. And what we have done already this year is great, but we know there's another level. And I'm just excited. So listen, I'm not against you if you got weave or if you wearing a wig. All I'm going to tell you is this right here. You better get a tie and tie that thing down, because we are coming today to snatch wigs. I don't care if you ain't got no foundation, no eyelashes on right now. Don't worry about putting none of that stuff on, because I'm snatching lashes. I'm snatching that gum foundation, because this is what I know. I get tired of playing dress up. I get tired of playing makeup, and it looks good on the outside. But deep down inside, I'm living a life unfulfilled and unchallenged and unchanged. I'm snatching off my wig. Hey, listen, it is what it is, baby. I am coming forward, baby. So get your minds right. We got a show that's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be legendary today. So get your minds right. So listen, let me calm down. Don't get too far ahead of myself. Don't get too big for my britches. Let me first and foremost thank Andy and Jane Albright for this opportunity. And it's crazy, because this is what I know. The moment that you stop being grateful is the moment that your life starts declining. You cannot get more tomorrow than what you're grateful for today. So I never take it for granted. I know it may seem like out of formality, but I truly believe, and I truly mean with every fiber in my being, that I am grateful for Andy and Jane Albright for fighting the good fight to create an opportunity where there are thousands and millions of other lives that's being impacted because of their vision and because of their staying power. And that vision was so massive that a little country boy from Conway, North Carolina like me, and a little girl from Jackson, North Carolina like Tia could have a shot at financial freedom. So thank you, Andy and Jane. Thank you for all of the amazing leadership at the Alliance. Andy Riddle, Angela Riddle, thank you. Jason and Olga. Olga's up here. Listen, y'all, we are fired up out of our mind. So thank you guys. And listen, we don't take this opportunity for granted because I'm going to tell you one thing. We're up here not to tell you what we want to say, but it is our prayer that we can say what you need to hear. And not just we say it with words, but you feel our spirit as we're talking. We want to snatch hearts on today, guys. That's our mission. Because guess what? The devil ain't playing, so I ain't either. That's right, baby. Woo! So let's speak of this. National Boot Camp, our next big event. Yes, we got multiple events going on in local markets. I think Olga and Andrew Riddle is going to be doing an event tonight down in South Florida. Tampa is going on. We just got off the road with Andy Albright and a crew of folks down in Houston, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Oklahoma City. And let me tell you something. If you're not leaving your house to get out and participate in this community. Me and Tia was just talking with this lady down in Houston. Her name is Kim. And she said, you know what? I like this. I like insurance and financial services, but the company that I'm with, I feel like I'm always by myself. There is no community. Get out of your house and play in our communities. So we was out in Houston, Albuquerque, and Oklahoma City. And let me tell you guys, people were stirred up. People were stirred up. And sometimes you don't need the meeting, but the meeting needs you. And there's going to be other points along this journey that, guess what? You're going to need that meeting. Get up in there, baby. And I'm also fired up. I'm going back to the basics, Mia Fennell. Me and Tia, we're bringing back the Greensboro hotspot. That's right. We ain't had a hotspot consistently since COVID-19 in 2022. But we are fired up to bring that thing back because we get ready to take over one more again, baby. So our next big event is our National Boot Camp, October the 16th through the 19th. All roads leads to the corporate office, Burlington, North Carolina. We call it the house. And it's crazy, guys. If you have never been to one of our big events before, you can come for only $129. And that includes 3 meals? What the flapjack? That's right. Get your butt there. If this is your first or second event, you get the beginner ticket, right? We want you to come. And then if you've been here for a while, you've been to 3 or more events, you get in for $249. Well, why should I have to pay $249 and the young people or the new people only pay $129? Shouldn't you be making more money by now? Should $249 even be a problem right now? I mean, you got an insurance license and $299 is a problem? Come on, man. I like Stephen A. Smith. Come on, man. All right, so get to the boot camp. I'm telling you, man, the carries are going to be there. Breakout sessions, top-notch training. It's not just going to be the rah-rah. If you want the nuts and bolts, we're going to give you the nuts and bolts too. That's right. So also, we're in the midst of qualifying for an all-expense paid vacation to Phuket, Thailand. Woo! Y'all, we just got back from Cabo St. Lucas, seemed like yesterday. It's all been a blur. But let me tell you, it's one thing to travel by yourself and with your family, but it's another thing to travel alliance style with over 300 like-minded crazies all up in one resort. Ooh-wee. We had a time in Cabo and we're going to have a time in Thailand. So we got some new winners. Here we go. Marcus Igabor. Congratulations. Thailand for 2. Jewel Pittman. That's right. Clap like they on your team. Matter of fact, clap like it's you winning. Jewel Pittman. Congratulations. And Ryan and Tatiana Chang, congratulations, guys. And then managers, Fitz and Heather Fitzgerald, congratulations on qualifying for the extension, y'all. And it's just August. We still got time. Also, our sincere condolences go out to the Fitzgerald family on the passing of Fitz's mother. It is just amazing to see Fitz's resilience, even at family reunion. You know, when you lose someone as dear as your mother like that, and you're still able to put what you got going on to the side to serve this community, my hat's off to you, man. Thank you so much for all that you do. Not just what you do now, but what you have done and what you have stood for so many years. Also, Spencer and Meredith Albright, congratulations. And Jason and Olga Matas. That's right. So if you want to, if you come to the National Boot Camp, you're going to get at least 50,000 bonus points towards the trip to Thailand. So if you don't come, but for any other reason, come for that. Please come. If you don't know if we want you to come, I ain't too proud to beg. Please come. Pretty please. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for the team. All right. I think I got all the preliminaries out the way. So if we can put all 4 panelists up at one time, that'll be amazing, because we're going to just have a good time on tonight. And the content, we're going to be talking about salt and pepper. When Andy texted me salt and pepper, I originally thought about the group. Salt and pepper's here. Salt and pepper's here. Salt and pepper and elbow grease. So today we're going to just talk about salt and pepper. And then on Friday for the activity call, we're going to go in detail about the elbow grease. So for you people that say, I don't need the mindset and the rah-rah, you done got your clothes on, you done turned on the YouTube and everything, and stick with us. It's going to help it, because this is what I know. Wealth don't begin in our pocketbook. Wealth begins in our mind and it ends in our checkbook. So we're going to get your mind right today. And we're going to talk about salt and pepper. And so, like, I like to cook. Okay, as you see me in person, I know I look small on this YouTube, but I'm a pretty nice sized man. Now, if you think about cooking, right? Let's say you got a big old rump roast, a nice old rump roast, right? Most of the time, you want to season that meat so that you can enjoy it the way that you don't. Nobody want no bland food, right? So salt and pepper is used to enhance the flavor of the meat that we are cooking, right? Salt is going to bring out the natural taste of the ingredients. You know what I mean? And the pepper is going to add some warmth and some depth and some subtle spice to that meat. So when you think about what we are cooking, like Glorilla say, let me cook. When we talk about cooking, right? The alliance system is the rump roast. It is our job, Olga, to season it to our taste so that we can bring out the natural flavors. Olga, you might like yours a little more spicy. I might add a little more sweet. You know what I'm saying? But ever how you like it, you can make this opportunity what you want. Okay? So the salt we're going to be talking about the team. The salt is the difference maker. Now, salt by itself ain't that good, but when you mix it up with everything else and you put it with the team of spices, you got something to work with. So we're going to talk about that on today. And why do we have these people? Because we got new people that's joining the team. We got old people that's saying, well, how they get to host it? What gives them I'm better than them. I'm better looking than Terry. That might be true. But you ain't gonna outwork Terry. You might be skinnier, but my organization might be wide as my behind. Come on, somebody. Anyway, so what gives these people the authority to talk to you today? Let's talk about it. You see, Andy Albright says it this way: liars figures, but figures don't lie. So we're going to talk about, and then we're going to let them introduce themselves. But let me do the honor, first of all. We got Mr. Oscar Caldwell down in South Florida, okay? Let me tell you about Oscar. Oscar, I met him a year ago at a meeting down in South Florida. And I ain't trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that, but I'm going to just tell it the truth. Oscar couldn't close a door, much less an insurance sale. He was struggling. And that was about a year ago. Fast forward 12 months, this guy who couldn't close a door is already qualified for an all-expense paid trip to Thailand. This guy who couldn't close a door right now is number 4 rookie year to date in all premium. Now, when you lump him in with Lottie Dottie and everybody, he is number 14 in the nation in issue paid premium. He has authority to talk to you on today. All right. Now, then we go down to beautiful Charlotte. We call it the Queen City here in North Carolina. And we got a queen from the Queen City, Miss Mia Fennell. Now, Mia, I know you got your ponytail in. Did you take my instructions and tighten that thing up? Because I'm coming for that ponytail today. I'm snatching that. I'm snatching today. All right, here we go. Mia Fennell. Outside of being beautiful, outside of loving to travel, already qualified for Thailand. Number 43 in the nation in estate plan implementations. Number 18 in the nation, year-to-date all premium. Number 72 in the nation, year-to-date annuity production. Number 13, year-to-date IUL production. Number 47 in the country, in Medicare sales. And she has over 30 people already booked in to our national boot camp. I believe, jury, I believe that she is convicted of being a certified baddie. And she has authority to talk to you on today. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if Oscar ain't good enough for you, if Mia ain't good enough for you, we go down to South Florida to the elite lady of the Alliance, my upline, my direct sponsor, Miss Olga Mathis. Outside of being a baddie wife, outside of being a tremendous grandmother, outside of just married her daughter off, outside of traveling to Colombia to help take care of her mother, Thailand qualified. Number 3 in the nation recruiting. Number 68 in the nation of annuity production. And her organization does over $500,000 a month. I believe, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that Olga Mathis should be found guilty of being a certified baddie and having authority to talk to the Alliance Nation on today. And if Olga won't good enough for you, and Mia still didn't convince you, and Oscar numbers ain't that impressive, I'm going to just tell you what I done did. Number 3 in the nation, Medicare sales. Number 24, year-to-date annuity production. Number 2, rookie estate plan implementers. Yeah, I'm a rookie in that category. Just started doing, I was a late bloomer. Number 28 in the nation in recruiting. And number 26 in the nation, year-to-date personal production. Yours truly, Terry and Tia Edwards. So guys, we didn't bring chopped liver to talk to you today. We bought the best of the best. We bought the cream of the crop. And when I'm getting ready to get y'all get your minds right. Y'all ready to snatch some wigs today? Clutch some pearls, baby. So listen, what those numbers represent is fight. What those numbers represents is resilience, knowing that they got life into them too. But what there's a book called Visioneering by Andy Stanley. I ain't saying go out and buy it, just listen to what I'm gonna say about it. It's a concept called moral authority. And that's what these guys have. Every great leader, every successful person, and anybody that has followed through on a successful God-given vision has moral authority. And that rests not on position or accomplishments, not just about the numbers, y'all, but it's based on an inner conviction and a willingness to bring his or her life in subjection to that conviction. We believe so, these people believe so much in what they're doing that they are even having to convict their own personal desires and bring it under the subjection of the conviction. This is how these people are consistent winners. This is why they get out and serve like they do. So, y'all, and I don't care how flattery you may be or how many words and eloquence you can speak, there is nothing that can overcompensate for lack of moral authority. No words, no amount of money, no amount of education, no amount of talent, because when you got moral authority, you not only talk the talk, baby, but you walk the walk. And one thing about the generation that we're leading right now and the world that we're operating in right now, people get tired of people just talking that daggone yapping their gums. We want to make sure that your actions and your talk line up, and these people do just that. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get started with Oscar. Oscar, man, if you don't mind, sir, unmute yourself. Let everybody know who you are, how long you've been connected with the Alliance, and just a high-level overview of like your setup as your life, married, not married, children, all that good stuff.
So hello, my name is Oscar Calderin. I'm originally from Cuba. I operate out of Miami, Florida. I have a girlfriend. I'm not single, and pretty much what I do is life insurance. For the last year and 3 months, I have devoted my life to life insurance, and I'm committed to continue to be successful in life insurance.
All right, good deal. And prior to doing insurance, what type of work did you do?
I did different types of sales, corporate sales. I was in the freight industry, selling factoring, which is a financial service, but it's a total different service than the ones that we provide. And it was only to small to mid-size businesses in the trucking industry. And I also worked for AT&T, just selling cell phone plans and TV service.
All right, good deal. And let me ask you this, Oscar. I know all those numbers don't equate to dollars, and well, it does. But hey, listen, before getting started with us, what was the most amount of money that you have made doing one job?
70 to $80,000 a year.
70 to 80,000. See, a lot of people say, "Yeah, I make six figures," but they're working 3 jobs. That's average 30,000 a job. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you were making used to making 70 to 80,000. Now, you ain't got to put your business out there. It could be allegedly, but for real, what are you on track to make this year?
I'm on track to make $160,000, so twice as that.
Y'all give it up. That's right. Hey, and you ain't on nobody's payroll no more, are you? Are you under the thumb of the man?
No, sir.
All right, get your mind right. I want you to talk. I'm coming back to you. All right, Mia Fennell, you know the routine, girlfriend. Unmute yourself and let the people know who you are.
Hey everyone, my name is Mia. I am here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Have been a part of the Alliance proudly for 7 years. Never worked at another insurance company. I love it here. This is home. And then prior to being here, I used to work in corporate America. I was a manager for a big Fortune 500 company and decided to leave that and pursue this full time.
Is that Fortune 500 company? Are they suing you by chance?
No.
All right. What was the name of
America?
Okay, she was working for Bank of America, and before that, you was at Georgia Pacific.
That's right.
We gotta say GP. Now, GP. At Georgia Pacific, did you have to wear steel toe boots?
I did. I had to wear steel toe boots. I had to wear a hard hat. Even though I was a manager, my office was inside of the plant. So I couldn't fit all this hair up under a hard hat. So I wasn't able to be myself.
Hey, you ain't had them set it off braids up under there, did you?
No, I didn't. So I had to snatch that hair off, Terry, so I could fit it on the hard hat.
They'd be like, you'd be sitting in the car, they'd be like, Mia, you coming in off? Yeah, wait a minute, let me get this ponytail off. I'll be in there in a minute.
Terry, tell her all my business.
I like it. Hey, listen, so now Before getting started with the Alliance, right? Same question. How much money did you make in a year? What was your best, like working one job? What kind of income was you bringing in then?
It was about 80,000.
About 80,000. Okay. Now, all right, 80,000. All right, cool. That's a common thing there, about 80 grand. All right, now, allegedly, but for real, about how much are you on track to earn this year?
Over 300,000.
Over $300,000.
Yes.
You remember last year, Mia? I was like, come on, girl, let's run it up. You've been teetering tottering around that 180. It done took root.
It done took root.
I love it. All right. And Miss Olga Mathis. Olga, let me pause. I got to give you a little more love. Most of the time I talk to Jason. But thank you so much, Olga. Your example, when I first got started and they told me that a baggage handler was making $8,000 a month doing this business, I was like, well, I'm going to match her energy. So thank you so much for your example. And thank you for welcoming us to this Alliance opportunity with open arms. Thank you for reaching out to Tia and making her feel welcome, even when she didn't want to be a part at the very beginning. Thank you, Olga, for being a front row fanatic. I remember you always would rush to the front and make sure that we had seats on the front row. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I pray that every time you pull up your hierarchy drawing and you look to the left, you say, you know what? It was well worth it, because Terry and Tia Edwards is the biggest part of my organization. And for the rest of them legs, good luck, because we showing you elbows and holes, baby. Let's go. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry, so much. And Tia, you guys are amazing. And we are so blessed to have you guys. We are so blessed and so grateful to be with the Alliance. Thank you to Andy and Angela Rito. Thank you to Jane and Andy Albright, because if it's not for them, I never be in this company. I am from South Florida. I live 45 minutes from Miami, and I'm from Colombia, and excited to be with the Alliance. I love the Alliance and do it. I work in American Airlines for 25 years, throwing bags. And I just think about that and say, oh my God, I worked 25 years there. I don't know how I did it, because was throwing bags. I used to put 150 bags into the belly of airplanes. So my back, my knees, my shoulders.
Show them guns, baby.
Yeah, really strong. And I worked there for 25 years, and I never thought that I can do what I'm doing right now. And it's exciting. Yeah. And I am with the Alliance for 12 years, and it's the only company that I work. I never work in another company.
All right. So, Olga, I know you was working on them biceps, them glutes, while you was up in there throwing them bags up in there. What's the most amount of money that you was making when you was tossing them bags up in that airplane?
Oh, I was making a lot of money. I thought it was a lot of money. I was making 40 to 50,000 a year.
40 to 50,000.
Working doubles, working a lot.
In the hot heat.
In the hot heat. In the belly is no AC. 90 degrees in South Florida into the belly was crazy being there. So when you come out of the belly, it's like somebody throw a bunch of water in your face, clothes, everything.
and you coming out the belly to 90-degree heat, and it feels like somebody throwing water on your face, and that's 90 degrees.
Exactly. Inside is like 120, and then you come out. Oh my God, that was crazy.
I love it. So now, allegedly, but for real, what are you guys on track to make this year?
About over 600,000.
Over 600 grand. So we got a door-to-door AT&T guy, just corporate sales, averaging 80,000 a year, done about double what he's done. Mia, corporate America, on pace to triple, and only been with the Alliance, 7 years? Olga, I don't even know how to divide it. 5x, 10x her income. Crazy talk. So guys, these are people that are not just like these. They're not influencers. No, these are real people overcoming real life and making that gun real money, baby. Let's get it, baby. So, all right, Oscar, coming back to you, my man. So we talked earlier about moral conviction, having that moral authority where you just believe so passionately in what you do that you got to bring your own self under subjection. And you mentioned that you just been going all in, right? So give us a little bit insight in what's going on in between your ears, in your mindset. When we met a year ago, you was at a meeting, couldn't close a door. But what was going on in your mind at that time? Because it's not what we see today. What we see today is just an outward expression of what was going on back then. So talk to me, Oscar. Tell the people what was going on in your mind sitting in that hotspot meeting.
Yeah, well, sitting in that hotspot meeting, I was blessed to have you, Terry, and Olga, and definitely my upline Jerry, motivating me, just talking to me every day. But mainly my desire to be successful, and my desire and my doubts at the same time. So I had to believe, and what fueled that was jumping all in. And like, I don't want to go too fast, but when you jump all in, you have no choice but to bring the best out of you mentally. So by having you just motivating us and being able to talk to us in a positive way and just telling us about the opportunities, because that's what we do in the hotspot. We talk about the opportunities, and just being able to see that it was possible. That's kind of what helped me on that day. But also, when I mean jumping all in, doing the day-to-day activities, dialing, going door knocking, and going through the process and the failures, the day-to-day failures. Once you are all in, there's a level of motivation that comes from inside of you that definitely I would say that is God, and that you have to believe. And I watched many videos on YouTube where you were speaking and motivating and mentioning the word fight, and you're literally at a war, because it's so many negative things and so many obstacles that can be considered an enemy that are going to be coming at you, that is part of the learning curve. So as that is coming at you, you have to be a warrior and decide if you're going to fight mentally. Are you going to fight this when you're driving in that car, when you get a no, when you get a charge back, when you get like anything that is negative? You have to be able to go to war in your mind and fight that with desire.
So you were sitting in that meeting, couldn't close a door. You're hearing us talking about how good this opportunity is, right? How did you resist the thought of like, yeah, right, they lying? Like, what made you believe, like, and not be negative?
What made me believe that I could do it is it's a little interesting to explain, but the fact that I was talking to Jerry, my upline, and he told me, hey, man, we got to get out there and do it. You can do this. So your upline is, it will become your best friend, okay? And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a body-body relationship, but you do need to look at your upline as your boss. And even though that I didn't do everything exactly as he asked, I try to do as much as possible, because you are afraid to fail. You are afraid that when you buy those leads, the return on the investment is not going to be worth it. But you got to believe, and you got to go out there and put out your best performance.
I love it. I love it, man. Mia, so when you got started with the Alliance, everything was perfect in your life. Everything was going great. And you just started killing it out the gate.
That sounds good, don't it?
That's what I remember. That's what
what you remember. Oh, I remember something drastically different than that.
Oh, well, tell me more.
When I got started, I was coming from I would say I was coming from a desperate place. That's the most real that I could put it. Because being honest, I just got laid off from my job, and in the same week, I was going through a separation from my ex-husband. So I don't know if any of y'all have been in either one of those situations, but to go through both of those at the same time is pretty tough. So when I came here, this opportunity was presented to me, and I was reconnected back to you and Tia. I didn't really have any other options. I know some people have the luxury of coming to this business and they have a plan A or plan B. If it doesn't work, I'll just go to another job. Or, for me, I didn't have a plan anything else other than this. So this was plan A through Z for me. And I knew that there was an opportunity here. And I also knew that I never thought that these people aren't real. Because I trusted you and Tia from the beginning, and I knew you guys' character. But I also, when I met Andy, when I met Olga and Jason, one of the first people I met was Marcus Richardson. Everyone seemed authentic. So I believed day one that this could happen for me. I also believed that this system was real. So I think that sometimes we as people can give ourselves options. And I just chose from the very beginning to not give myself another option. So I think that having that mindset is what kind of carried me. I wasn't successful day one. I remember my first month, I made $2,300 by just helping friends and family. My third month, I made $3,500.
Well, wait a minute. Okay,
Oh,
23. You like 2,300, right?
Yes.
Let's stop for a minute.
Yes.
I don't want to romanticize this.
Okay.
But this is what I'm thinking. You lost your Boaz, your man,
Uh-huh.
and you was a broke ass because you were broke.
Yes.
Was $2,300 enough to do everything that you needed to do?
No, absolutely not. It was not enough, but it was hope. For me, it was hope.
Ooh.
And
so even a little bit
is
hope.
And that's why we talk about writing your first policy and personal use, because that's the first piece of hope that you have when it comes to this business. So $2,300, I hadn't gotten on leads yet, but it was enough for me to say, okay, if I can make $2,300, I can make more the next month. So the second month I went out, and that's when I first started working leads. So I'll tell you exactly what I did. I took $2,000. I paid my bills. I put no money in savings because I didn't have it. I took $300 and I invested into leads. So the second month I actually wrote leads. That was all I did was I bought $300 of leads, and I made $3,500 my second month. Now, what I did the next month was I put some money into savings, and then I still paid my $2,000 worth of bills. And then I took and bought $400 worth of leads. So I had leads left over from my second month, and I had some brand new fresh leads for my third month. Going into my third month, I worked all those. My third month, this was the game changer for me. I made $7,000 my third month. And I knew if I could make $7,000, I could make $70,000. If I could make $70,000, I could make $700,000. So once I hit that third month, I was already in. But once I hit it, I believed that I could do it forever.
I love it. And it's crazy because, and a lot of times people think these conversations are staged, and I tell you 100% they are not, right? Oscar said, I went all in. I didn't leave any. I didn't have another option. Mia went all in, didn't have another option. Terry and Tia, we didn't have another option. We went all in. Olga Mathis, what say ye, ma'am?
Wow, I remember like what yesterday when I started this company, and I have so much fears, and I couldn't make dials. I was afraid.
What were you scared of? The boogeyman gonna get you? What were you afraid of? Tell the people.
Oh my God, I was afraid for the people answer, and when they answer, I hung up immediately. And I was praying that they don't answer anymore when I dial again. So the first year I made $3,500. The first year, thank God I didn't quit. Thank God. Oh my God. So when I see
Wait a
Oscar,
minute. Year one, you made $3,500.
the
And
whole
we're
year,
in, what year are we in now?
12.
Year 12, you're on track to do over 600,000.
That's
I
right.
don't know no job, no career that you can go from 3,000 to over 600,000 in 12 years. I ain't never seen it.
Right. That's
Tell me
right.
more, Olga. That just lit me up right there.
So, and then I said, okay, what I'm going to do if the only thing that I know is throwing bags. I don't have no school. I don't have no college degree. I don't speak perfect English. I have a lot of accent. And then I heard that I moved to Jacksonville, and I heard somebody in Miami that was doing um, rally points. So people get together and make dials. And I say, you know what? I really want to grow in this company. I have to do whatever I have to, because every time that I was getting home, I was crying. I was crying because I said, what else I'm going to do? My God. I mean, so I start to drive 6 hours from Jacksonville to Miami and be there and learning, because I knew that that is going to help me to grow. And then that's why step 5 of the 8 step of success is so important for me, because attend all meetings. It's super important because the association, going to the hotspot, even that I was afraid to talk to people, but I was going to the hotspot when they said the big events like this event, the NBC, the 16 to the 19, whatever they said, I did, even that I was so afraid because I didn't speak English. But I knew that if I keep doing it, I'm going to be successful. And my husband, Jason, I remember that when I was getting home, the first thing that he said, how many do you sell? And I started to cry immediately because I wasn't selling. People say, hey, can you call somebody who speaks English? Because I don't understand what you say. So that's hard. And people closing the doors on you and not just quit because you know that what else you're going to do? I don't have no choice. This is the only choice. I see people changing their lives so much. And then I said, I have to stay no matter what I have to do. And thank God I didn't quit.
So when you're driving from Jacksonville to Miami, that's a haul. Like Miami is its own little country down there. Like they don't even understand me when I come down there. I'm surprised I got through the Oscar. But listen, so you're driving every week. That's about 5-hour drive one way, right?
Yeah, 6 hours.
So
yeah.
6 hours one way, 6 hours back. Every week you were doing that. On those car rides, because sometimes when we get isolated, the enemy starts talking to us. But when he started talking, I started talking back.
Bad.
What were you saying? Oh, let me repeat that again. The enemy will start talking. The question is, are you going to talk back? Who's going to be louder? Is he going to be closing you or you going to be closing him? So when you was driving back and forth, struggling, Olga, and you was in them 6-hour car rides, 6 hours there and 6 hours back, what were you telling yourself? And what was you telling that enemy of doubt, that enemy of low self? What were you telling that enemy?
Well, I remember like the first time that I went to Miami to make dials for the first time ever, I made 12 appointments. Woo! I stayed from 8 in the morning to 9 p.m. dialing 500, 600, 700 dials. Because it's funny when somebody say, oh, I just made 20 dials, but doesn't work. And I said, excuse me, 20 dials? You have to keep going until you make dials, until you make appointments. And I remember driving. I had to stop and sleep because I was tired, sleeping under a bridge, and then continue driving. And then I said, okay, this has to happen. It's no choice. I even went to the guy that is no longer with us. I was crying to him one day because I did it for 9 months, but I didn't see a lot of success. And I was crying to him and I said, look, I'm doing this for 9 months and I'm not making no money. What the heck is going on? They said that if you go to the hotspot, you go to the big events, you listen to TWC, you listen to the product call, the activity call, and I'm doing all that, and it's not working. And this guy said to me, Olga, listen to me. You are a crazy lady. Keep doing what you're doing, because the way how you're doing, you're going to be really successful. And just keep doing it, not quit. And I keep doing it, and things start to happen.
There's a country song that says, if you're going through hell, please don't stop. You want to get out of town before the devil or something like that. But if you're going through hell, I know for sure it says, if you're going through hell, please don't stop. I know that part. I don't know the rest of it. But okay, so let's talk about something. Let's talk about, Oscar, you talked about being in a fight, being a warrior. What are you fighting for?
So, yeah, being in a fight, being a warrior, I believe is the duty of every man. Now, what am I fighting for? I believe deep down I'm fighting for myself. I do not want to be a failure. I believe that that's in the heart of every man deep down. Whether you have a family, a wife, a girlfriend, kids, people that you love, you are the one that is supposed to go out there every day and make it happen for them. As a warrior, as we used to do 2,000-3,000 years ago, today we're lucky that we're not at war physically, but we are at a mental war every day. As soon as you step out of that door, you're facing a war in different ways. And you have to find a way to come up victorious in that war. So I'm fighting deep down, I'm fighting for myself in order to be able to help those around me, to bring them up. But first, I believe that I am fighting for myself. Yeah.
And you're fighting, and you said it's a duty. It's a duty. A duty means requiring, like you're required to fight. And you say, I just want to be a man that's not a failure. Sometimes, like, bro, like, that is huge. Let's take it a step further. Tell me about who you want to bring out.
Who I want to bring out when I'm out there on the field?
Like you said, first of all, I want to be able to bring the other ones around me, my fam. I don't know if you're talking about your children. I'm like, who are you? Like, bro, when it gets tough out there, who are you thinking? Like, if I don't win, there are going to be lives, there are going to be casualties. Who are you trying to make sure that's covered under your protection?
Certainly, I'm thinking about the woman I love. I'm thinking about my family, and I'm thinking about giving back to those who come from the same background that I come from, that I know that they don't understand what their duty is, because they haven't put themselves in this position, or they don't want to admit that that's their duty, to go out there and fight and sometimes suffer. I believe that suffering sometimes is part of the process of success. So when we are in that mental war and we are in between appointments or in between door knocks, those negative thoughts that come to our mind that literally want to is designed to make you quit. Is your brain protecting you? Is the devil? And it's a combination of things that you have to overcome. It's the hardest part of the job. So I'm fighting for my family. I'm fighting for myself. I'm fighting for my loved ones, and I'm fighting for my future loved ones and the people that I see around me, that I want to be in a position to be able to bring them up by recruiting them, by talking to them and telling them, hey, here's an opportunity. But first, I believe that I have to prove myself and be successful in order to help them out.
Man, what you said, to whom much is given, much is required, right? A lot of times we want the blessings that Oscar have. We want the income that Mia. We want Olga's income. You want the team, like the dream team. You want what Andy and Jane Albright have. You want the blessing. but are you willing to carry the burden? You want the blessing, but the fight, the war is in carrying the burden. Mia, talk about it, girl. When you are out there doing what you got to do, and I know we had an intense conversation on yesterday. I mean, it got intense. What are you fighting for? What? Oh, Oscar. Let me go back to Oscar. We had the pleasure of having Oscar on the Dream Team call last Monday night. And Oscar, I don't know what got into your cat that day, but you said, don't you want to find out what you're made of before you die? Get your mind right, because I got to come back today. I think the whole world needs to hear that. So Mia, going through a divorce, bankrupt, making a little money, you believing, but still chaos all surrounding you. What's going on in that dome, in that mind?
Back then,
and then let's talk about now.
Yeah. Back then, I was fighting for my life. I was fighting because I was tired of my situation. I knew, so I was fighting from a place of knowing I was meant for abundance and not lack. And that's why I felt like I was in a lack place for a long time. Now, even when I was in corporate, I wasn't necessarily lacking financially, but I was lacking in a space of wanting to grow beyond what I was seeing currently at that time. And I knew that there was another level. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know what it looked like, but I knew there was another level. So when I was fighting back then, I was fighting because I never wanted to go back to that place where I didn't have an opportunity. I never wanted to be in a position where I was trying to just make it and I was average and just around a bunch of average people with average mindsets. I was doing everything I could, fighting like hell to change my life. That's what I wanted, was to change my life. So fast forward to what I fight for now, what I think about. And I was thinking as you were talking to Oscar, I think the easy thing to say is, oh, I'm fighting for my family and I'm fighting so they can be proud of me. I will tell you this. I have an amazing family and they have been proud of me. They've seen the struggle and they've seen where I've been able to get to in my life. I think if you ask them, they're proud right now. So that's not what I focus on anymore. What I focus on now is I'm fighting for legacy. I'm fighting for purpose. I used to always hear you say this, Terry, I want to die empty. I promise you right now, so I just turned 36 on Sunday. I finally know what you mean by dying empty. Time is fleeting. 36 years flew by. And I'm sitting here like, I need to be sure that when I leave here, when my number gets called, I'm proud of what I did while I was here. And why is it that we get an opportunity and look at it? And I've done this too, where I look at it and I don't take advantage of what it is that's in front of me. This opportunity, how many people get to say that they had a shot at making $1 million a year? How many people get to say that they were able to be surrounded by millionaires at these events? How many people get to say that they've been on a jet before? I rode on Indy Albright's jet. How many people get to say that they get to take all expense vacations to Thailand and Cabo and Paris, all over the world? Why is it that the choice right there is right in front of us, and we can either say yes with our actions, or we can say yes with our mouth and never back it up? I'm fighting for my purpose. What is it that Mia was put here to do? And I don't want to waste it. That's where I am in my life right now.
Olga, this little girl from Colombia came to America, about got kidnapped, that gum in New York, daddy done died. Woo!
What
are you fighting for? What was you, matter of fact, not just in this business, but what was that dream coming to America, getting up in the belly of them airplanes? What was you fighting for? Why are you still going, Olga?
I always was looking for the American dream. I remember when I was 17 years old in Colombia, thinking, I know I can be there. I can be in United States of America, and I don't care how I'm going to be there because we have so much opportunities in United States of America. I love being here. I love the opportunity. And when I see American people that they don't take the opportunity, but like we're talking about the new Americans now, and I said, I want to show them that we can live another life. We cannot be just like Mia said, average. I don't want to deal with chickens. I want to be or deal with eagles. I want to high, not
We
with
eat chickens. We don't hang out with chickens.
Right.
We eat chickens.
We eat chickens, and I love
eagles.
and just when you have a dream and you really know what you want, like I don't want to live the life that I used to live before. I want to, because the life that we live now is amazing. And I changed the legacy of my family. And we're going through something with my mom right now and be able to help her and help my kids and my grandkids and do things for them like I never imagined is I'm so grateful, and it's just thinking about, okay, who else can we help? Who else can we change their life? It's not just me. It's who else, because if I help you, I'm going to grow. And so one of the things is, what do I really want and how I'm going to get it? But the way how I'm going to get it is really plug into the system and really do it, and not listen to my neighbor that doesn't know nothing about the business, because we are different species. We are different species. So we have to get together. And the thing with the alliance is we are not alone, baby. We are not alone. We have the association. We're going to help each other so much. And it's nothing like the alliance.
So that brings us right, Olga, you couldn't have teed it up better. Now we're talking about the salt and pepper, the team. We got a little salt, we got a little pepper, we putting it up on the meat. We can ready to put that thing in the oven, right? There's a book that I saw Andy reading one time, and it's called Power of the Other. The Power of the Other by Dr. Henry Cloud. And this is real good, because in that book, it talks about like science. Now, this ain't emotions. This is not rah-rah. Actual science confirms that getting to the next level is 100% dependent on relationships. This is not like scientific data. They done studied humans, animals, all that good stuff. Human, animals, and all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay, Mia Power just went out, Alliance team. See if you can bring her back on. Science confirms, we done broke the internet over there in Charlotte. Science confirms that getting to your next level is 100% dependent upon relationships. We live in a world now where everybody wants to be independent. I want to do my own thing. But science says you get into your next level is 100% dependent upon relationships. But then it says it's a big but. But anytime you know it's a but, it's a condition coming after that. It is 100% dependent upon relationships, but the relationship must be the right kind of relationship, more than just hanging out pals. The relationship must provide very specific functions and very specific energy. It must deliver very specific constructive experiences, and very specific information must be disseminated within the brains of those in the relationships. And then it goes on to say the right kind of relationships wires us for resilience and success. You see, we live in a world now where we got so many followers on Instagram and friends on Facebook. But most people are living more isolated than they ever have before. But we got to have the right type of relationships that's going to provide very specific functions, very specific energy, give very constructive experiences, and encode very specific information. And those relationships are the ones that's going to wire us for resilience and success. Let's talk about the relationships. I believe in giving people their flowers while they can smell them. So I'm going to give a disclaimer. These uplines might not be your uplines, so you may not have relationships with these people. But take from this, okay, who should I be investing in a relationship? What should I be giving to the relationship? And what should I be getting out of the relationship? Oscar, we all need somebody to perform for. We already talked about that, but somebody to perform with. Who are the people, the relationships that's aiding and abetting in your success and your resilience?
So, I mean, I have to mention once again, definitely Jerry with Jerry Burbage with advice. He's advised me and he's been there for me in the toughest times at the very beginning. Definitely you. But when it comes down to performance, I always go to the aid of there's so many people. I don't want to leave anybody out, but definitely Olga, definitely Jason, definitely everybody that's down here in Florida, Erica, Mercedes, and so the Florida team has been crucial for me to lean on when when I have any questions or things in that of that nature. But mainly my upline, and then they have been part of the support system as well.
So the community, which is one of our core values, community. There was only one person in those people that you just named that financially benefit from you. That was Jerry Burbage. Everybody else does not financially benefit from you, but benefit from your success, because we can be no stronger than our weakest link as a company, as a team. So that was big right there, man. Mia, talk to me.
Yeah, I would say from, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my power randomly went out. I would say from day one, you and Tia have always been there, stepping with me through everything. So that relationship has always been strong. But then encouraging me to follow the leadership of Andy Riddle. I talk to Andy on a regular basis, and his influence has been huge for my business. And then Olga and Jason, I mean, the example we have in those two, and the fact that they're directly, they're my direct upline is just the icing on the cake, being able to have that relationship. And Andy and Jane, I mean, just the creating the opportunity for somebody like me to be able to come here and have a shot. I appreciate every single person that has had any hand in my business, even the leaders that come here, Micah, Noel, Leventovich, every time they come to Charlotte. Adam Katz was just here last week. Every single person that helps, and you mentioned the community and the team. We just have so many people that we get to look up to here, and so many great examples. So I'm forever grateful for every single person.
And not to romanticize this, I'll go back to, I know Olga going to touch on it, but a lot of times good leadership, just like in this book, it talks about it must be the right kind of relationship, more than just hanging out as pals. Talk about how, you can talk about a situation of how leadership is not just high-fiving you, but also stretching you.
Yeah.
Olga, let's start with you, and then we'll circle back, okay? Because I know Olga used to say, Andrea made me mad. He made me want to cry.
So ask me the question again in a different way.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, here we go. Oh, boy, here go that South Florida stuff. All right. Who are some leaders, or what are some situations that leadership has challenged you? You didn't like it, but at the end of the day, it worked out for your good. It caused you to grow and stretch, because we don't want to romanticize that every day is going to be peaches and cream.
Yeah.
And like Oscar said, you ain't going to always agree with your upline and all this and that. But how
Right.
is it some people that has caused you to stretch and grow in areas, and kind of like you just walk through that? Does that make sense?
Like Andy Riddle, when I started this company, it was hard for me to communicate with him especially because of my English. But I know that going to him is going to help me grow my business. And I understood that later, not when I start, because I was getting upset with my upline, but was because he didn't understand me. And I was getting upset, and I said, I'm going to show that gringo that I'm going to make it. And I was upset with him when I started, because I want to talk to him, but he didn't understand me, because at that time I speak perfect English and I don't have accent anymore, thank God. But before, I didn't understand. I understand later that was what happened. And I know he want the best for us. And the way how he's awesome. And Angela is always there, available for whatever we need. I'm grateful for Diane Lampe too. Grateful for Bill Krause and Jake. They opened their doors for us to learn about the seminars. And it's so many great people like Noela Vintovich, the people that are there like Adam Katz. They're humble people, and even that they are really high, it's like they are humble and ready to help you. It's just, I always say, okay, just don't try to think that you know everything. Just be humble. This word is hard for me to pronounce it. Humility.
Bingo, you did good.
So be humble and don't try to be like you know everything. Just be humble, and I'm grateful for you guys and grateful for you, Terry, because in Tia, because you guys are amazing. And every day I said, thank God that I have them, because I learned from you guys so much to how to be more united, or how you say it? Like
Unified.
Unify. So that is so big, and I look up to you guys so much.
Let's get it. Oscar, I know Jerry country, but he probably can hit you one way or another every now and then.
Yeah, well, at the beginning, in the business side of things, and just related to life insurance, since I had already had success in different fields, I didn't realize that I didn't know what life insurance was, and I didn't know how to have a conversation around life insurance. So once you're in the home and you're talking to a family and you're trying to help, the tempo and the energy is more about service, and it's a lower tempo. You're not necessarily selling a cell phone. You're not selling something that is going to make them rich. You are trying to find a solution for their problems, and you're trying to make them. It's a whole different energy that I didn't understand. So he had to explain to me several times that I was not selling a cell phone here, or you're not selling a pair of shoes or a car. So that was a little insulting when when you think that you're a good salesman. And you might be, but that's not how you talk to him. That's not how you have that conversation. So it took me kind of like listening to Jerry probably over 20 times to understand that for them to open up and be comfortable, you had to literally have a different type of conversation. So that was a battle to make me understand that. Yeah, that was a battle, definitely.
So he was telling you, and you were digging in. What would you say? You'll say back to him, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up.
I'm doing, I'm here, I'm energetic, I'm talking to him, but I wasn't asking questions. I was just trying to be upbeat. Hey, and I was trying to tell them, give them the answers once I asked him, hey, this is good for your family. I wasn't letting them tell me, hey, I wasn't letting them talk to me and express their pain and the pain that they had and what was making them make that decision. I was just being a salesman. But you have to understand, first of all, you don't understand business, so you don't understand what you have to invest and the type of leads. And so that was a battle. But the main thing was his ability to close. If I call him on the phone and I put him in front of somebody, he would close him so easily. And I just didn't understand that I didn't know. I didn't want to admit that I didn't know how to have a conversation about life insurance. And there were many things that I didn't know, but that was the main one that was stopping me from moving forward, I would say.
So what broke you? What was the straw that broke the camel back and say, all right, I better humble myself, dude? Like, what was it like? Was it one thing or?
Well, he was very patient with me, and I know he had to be tired, but something about me is that I would contact him every day till this day, pretty much. So at some point, he always, when he talks to the clients, I realize that he tells them a story about his life, his personal life, about his parents, and I see how they change and they open up. Okay, and they feel more compelled to talk about their pain once he does that, because he's asking questions and he's waiting for them to answer the question. So it was just so obvious that he was doing something that I wasn't doing, and he's not excited over the phone. He's understanding. He understands what they go through, and he asks questions instead of me taking over the whole interaction, which is what I like to do, and I'm good at doing it. But this conversation, it doesn't necessarily go that way, and it took a while for me to realize that.
That is good, because one of the things that we have to learn is we have to be two different people at the same time. When we're in the home, we're not, whoa, hey man, I'm fired up about my mind. Like people calling me from, hey Terry, I'm fired up about my mind, sitting here with that, like bro, calm down. Like you're talking to them about their money and their end of life and stuff like that. Calm down, bro. So like, but when we're in the home, we're more low key, so more, I'm just a little guy, hourly employee. But then when we come to the conventions, yeah, we fired up out of our mind, woo. Yeah, that's really good right there. Mia, talk to the people.
Okay, that was really funny.
You heard them, they call you from the home. Hey, buddy. Don't call me buddy.
I'm in here with my friend, my best.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Like, no, not in front of the client.
Oh, okay. Let me get my mind right. Okay, so I think the biggest thing that can take anybody up out of here is ego. and that was what I have had to have many lessons in humility many times since being here, and still doing it, still having to relearn that lesson of being humble. I don't know. I think sometimes maybe it's you don't realize that you're not being humble and not listening. And when you talk to your upline, and not understanding that this person knows more than you do, and all you have to do is just listen. So I would say specifically, with me and you and Tia and y'all, we've been doing this for 7 years in this company. We've known each other for 10 years. So it's been one of those things where I've really almost had to grow up in this company with you guys kind of raising me here. But we've had many.
You remember that guy the other day say, thank you for spending time with your parents when we was out eating as well.
The waiter thought that they were my parents. But that is just, but it's all respect and it's all wisdom. And one thing that I really learned from you and Tia, and that especially last year, we really had a bumping heads and we couldn't see eye to eye on things. And I'm so grateful that, I learned a huge lesson in humility and understanding that every single thing y'all have ever told me, anybody in this company has ever told us, most of our uplines, if you see, and I'm talking specifically growing upline, okay, people who are growing teams, they're never going to tell us things that Andy Albright has not taught, that he hasn't written in books. What happens is ego gets in the way because you think, like Oscar said, we think we're so good because we come from places where we had a little bit of success. And then we come over here and your ego gets bruised because you think you're supposed to already know how to do this. And then your upline calls it out. And when you have people who see further down the line, they know more than you, and they're holding a mirror up to your face, that hurts. But guess what? That's what you need in order to go to your next level. So I am grateful for those times where I have had to be humbled, where I've had you, Albright, Riddle, and looked at me and said, Mia, hey, you got to get better. Because if you let us stay where we are, if you as leaders and you have a team, y'all just look at us and just say, you're doing good, keep going. That is not what we need to get to our next level. So thank you, Tia and Terry, for never, as much as you butt heads with me, you never giving up on me. I appreciate that. And every single day I'm trying better to do what I can do to serve this team.
So, hey, and I ain't perfect either. I'm a hot head. You hear me?
Yeah.
Trying to get better.
It's okay.
To be clear. Jason probably said, I earned every dime of my override. So, guys, listen, we're getting ready to land this thing. One of the most elite groups of people in our armed services are the Navy SEALs. And they go through some of the most rigorous physical and mental demanding training ever. And the last week, they call it Hell Week. This is where a lot of guys that started out, they don't even make it to the final week. But Hell Week is just like this grueling exercise of requiring this crazy mental and physical strength like none other to become a Navy SEAL. And there was a story about this Navy SEAL, and he was at Hell Week. And he was on the last leg of his final swim. And his body was shutting down. His mind was fatigued. And in his mind, he said, I can't go on. I'm going to stop. I got to quit. My mind and my body can't take it. And then he started thinking about all of the years of him saying that he wanted to be a Navy SEAL, all of the training that he had already overcome and endured. And he's saying to himself, I'm right here. I'm so close. If I quit now, I'm never going to be this close again. And then what happened was he looked at his buddy who had just finished, and his buddy was standing on side of the banks and started yelling at him. You can do it, man. Push through. You can do it, brother. You got it. And he locked eyes with his friend. When you can look in another man's eyes or another woman's eyes, you start to see into their spirit. And something happened. Another gear. He hit another gear. And he got another win. And he made it to the finish line. And when he got to the finish line, there his buddy was. Open arms, saying, brother, I knew you could do it. And what he said was this right here. If it wasn't for somebody believing in me, when I couldn't believe in myself, it is no way that I will be standing as a Navy SEAL today. Alliance family, example is not the main thing in influencing other people. It is the only thing. We're going to talk about elbow grease on Friday. We're going to get into some details. But I'll end with this one right here. It's this guy. He was an intern at a church. So he got his internship at this church. and he was interning with the youth pastor. Now, he don't know nothing about ministry, but he said, I knew about being a youth because I was a youth. So he going through the day-to-day with the youth pastor, the intern talking to the youth pastor, and one day the youth pastor just looked at him and said, hey, man, it's time for you to lead. And the intern looked at the youth pastor and like, me lead what? I don't even know nothing about ministry. So what do you want me to lead? How can I lead? Well, something that I don't know about. You the youth pastor. The youth minister looked back at him and said, young fella, there's a difference between having a position and having influence. You see, I got a position, but you got influence with the students. See, they're going to obey me because of my position, but they will follow you because of your influence. Now, I need you to use your influence and lead. And don't be afraid. I need you to lead. I'm saying all that to say this right here. You don't have to know everything about life insurance. You don't have to know everything about annuities, estate planning, and all that. You know how to connect with people. I'm speaking directly to your heart and to your mind right now. For the Alliance to get to our next level, we need more leaders. We need more people to do what they know is the right thing to do without being told to do it. We need people to take 100% ownership of their business, their circumstances, and their life. Everybody that come against you or try to correct you or give you constructive criticism, it's not hate. No, it's not hate. It's called constructive criticism. It's called, we want you to be better tomorrow than you are today. But we need leaders. And for us veterans, we need to remember where we come from. I remember sitting in front of Andy Albright's desk, making 6 figures and still not having money left over. Yep, you could be making money and not have a dime to your name. And he said, Terry, if you keep doing this, you're going to be good. You're going to be okay. He said, but what I never want you to forget is how you feel sitting right in front of me right now. Don't get the big head. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Stay hard working. But get your tail back in the game. Get out your house. Get on the banks. And there are some SEALs coming behind you that need to hear your encouragement. They need to see you traveling. They need to see you going out in houses. I know you can sell over the phone, but get your ass in somebody's house and show these new people how we used to do it back in the day, baby. Veterans, we need more of you guys, more of us telling the new people, come on, you can do it. Lock arms, not just with their mind, but lock arms with people's heart. Oh yeah, you can't lock arms with nobody's heart if you're not vulnerable enough to share your heart. Get your ass in the game. The devil is busy. The devil is trying to cause division. And this is one thing I know about the devil. His job, he can't build nothing. His only job is to discredit everything. So if you got people out there that discrediting your leadership, outwork their ass. Listen, show them what it looks like to run 20 appointments a week. I ain't going to get into the elbow grease, but listen, we're going to talk elbow grease. But I come to you as your favorite cousin, your little nephew. Alliance Nation, it's time to go to another level. And 100% of our next level is dependent upon the relationships that we build, not the ones that we just want to hang out with, but the ones that's going to take us to the next level. Let's get out here. Let's dominate. Let's take over. Let's destroy poverty. We're in an all-out war against poverty, and I ain't scared. It's revival time. If this ain't got you fired up, your wood must be wet, baby. Get back around the heat, baby. Find a hot spot. Make sure you got your national boot camp ticket. Show me what you're working with. Don't tell me nothing else. I get so tired of hearing what I'm finna do. Show me what you're gonna do. Let's go. Get out of here. Bye-bye. You're dismissed.